All right, UPSC aspirants, ready for today's deep dive. We're tackling a topic that's super relevant for your exams. Women in Panchayati Raj.
Yeah, a topic with guaranteed appearances in both prelims and mains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all know how important the Panchayati Raj system is for rural India. But are we up to speed on the challenges women actually face within this system? We're going deeper than usual today.
Okay.
We'll be breaking down a recent report from a Ministry of Panchayati Raj panel. And get this, it was formed based on a Supreme Court order. So this isn't just any casual study.
No, this is serious stuff.
It's the real deal. And what's so fascinating about this report is that it doesn't just give us the surface level.
Yeah.
It really pulls back the curtain on the reality for women based on their lived experiences across the country.
It does. And one of the most striking takeaways, a surprising number of these women entering local governance lack prior political experience.
Think about that. You're suddenly thrust into a leadership role, expected to make decisions for entire communities, but you've never even been to a council meeting before.
That's exactly right. And the implications of this inexperience are huge.
Huge.
This is about more than just one woman struggling in her position. It can actually impact development projects, resource allocation, the whole effectiveness of local governance.
Right. And the report doesn't hold back either. It confronts the gender-based discrimination these women face head-on.
Right.
We're talking about being ignored in meetings, their opinions dismissed just because they're women.
It's sad but true. Shows how deeply ingrained those patriarchal norms are.
Yeah.
Even in a system designed to empower women, these biases still exist, and they undermine their authority, make it that much harder for them to make real change.
Then there's the whole cultural dimension. The report highlights how traditions like Purdah and societal expectations limit women's participation even further.
It's an uphill battle, not just against the system itself, but against centuries of ingrained social norms.
And that's a whole other layer on top of everything else.
Absolutely. And it's not something we can fix overnight with a quick policy change. To address these deeply rooted social norms, we need a multifaceted long-term approach, education awareness, and a shift in mindset across entire communities.
It's a big one, for sure. But this is where things get really eye-opening for our UPSC aspirants.
Okay.
The report uncovers the shocking levels of political pressure threats and even violence these women face.
Oh, yeah.
Elected by their community only to be met with intimidation tactics or a no-confidence motion purely based on their gender.
It's a serious concern. This impacts their safety and security in politics. How can we expect women to participate, to lead, if their very presence is met with hostility and danger?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does. It makes the need for legal safeguards and strong support mechanisms absolutely essential.
Essential. And we also can't forget the socio-economic disadvantages that many of these women are carrying.
Of course not.
They often come from marginalized communities, juggling family responsibilities and financial burdens. Imagine trying to lead a village council while also worrying about feeding your family.
Right. That's the reality, and it significantly limits their ability to fully participate in governance. How can we expect them to make independent decisions, advocate for their communities when they're dealing with all these external pressures? It's a cycle that needs breaking.
Definitely. And here's the thing. The report finds that many of these women are put into these leadership roles with little to no training or mentorship.
It's a huge gap.
It's like setting them up for failure, isn't it?
It is. Targeted capacity building is crucial. Equip these women with the skills to navigate local governance, budgeting, project implementation. Give them that practical knowledge, mentorship from experienced leaders so they can lead effectively.
Practical tools, yeah.
And build their confidence, too.
The report also brings up the rotational reservation system,
Right.
which was designed to ensure representation.
Right.
But it actually ends up creating another obstacle.
It does. How? Well, by rotating seats frequently, it disrupts continuity and makes it really hard for women to carry out long-term plans.
It's a classic example of good intentions but unintended consequences.
That's it.
More women get a chance to hold office,
Right.
but it makes it hard to make a lasting impact.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
A complex issue for sure. And then you've got the issue of Pradhan Pati, Sarpanch Pati, Mukhya Pati, terms you might even see on your exams.
Oh, yeah.
This is where husbands or male relatives act as proxies for the elected women.
Yes. A really pervasive issue.
The report finds that the current legal deterrents just aren't strong enough.
They are not.
This practice totally undermines the whole point of reservation.
It does.
It's male dominance disguised as women's leadership.
Exactly. And we need stronger legal measures and stricter penalties to make sure women actually have the power to lead.
And to exercise their authority.
Yes.
So we've seen the challenges, but the report doesn't just stop there, right?
No, not at all. It actually offers a whole bunch of recommendations to really address these issues. It's like a roadmap to a more effective and equitable Panchayati Raj system.
A roadmap. I like that. And what's promising is that these aren't just pie-in-the-sky ideas. They're actually grounded in practicality, tackling those specific issues we discussed.
Exactly. And one key area is policy interventions. The report emphasizes the need for better training programs for these women representatives.
Not just the basic stuff, right?
No, we're talking about giving them a deep understanding of the laws, the financial side of things, the whole nitty-gritty of local governance.
Equipping them to be real leaders, not just figureheads.
Exactly. Imagine training programs that actually simulate real situations, giving them the chance to practice decision-making, conflict resolution, community engagement.
That's what I'm talking about, a boot camp for women leaders.
Exactly. Get them prepared to hit the ground running.
Ready to tackle those challenges.
And the report also dives into structural reforms, specifically the rotational reservation system.
Oh, right. Remember how we talked about how it affects continuity?
Yeah, one suggestion is to actually make those reservation periods longer.
So women could hold office for a longer time.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Instead of constantly starting over, they'd have time to gain experience, build those networks, and actually implement long-term plans that benefit their communities.
Think about the impact a woman could make if she knew she had 5 years, not just 2.
To put her vision into action.
It changes the whole game, empowers women to think beyond the short term.
Long-term vision. And remember those Pradhan Pati situations.
Oh, yeah, where the husbands or male relatives basically take over.
The report suggests getting serious about penalties.
No more slaps on the wrist.
Exemplary penalties.
Stricter laws, tougher enforcement holding those men accountable.
I like it.
Imagine fines, community service, even barring them from running for office in the future.
Now that sends a message.
It does. That women's leadership is not a token gesture.
You try to manipulate the system, there are consequences.
Real consequences. This is about shifting the power dynamic, ensuring that the elected woman is the one making the decisions.
Not her husband, not her brother.
This is about true empowerment.
Not just for show. Another crucial area the report highlights is capacity building. And this goes beyond that initial training.
Yeah, we're talking ongoing mentorship programs, skill development initiatives designed specifically for these women leaders.
Think about it. You're a newly elected woman, and you're facing pushback from all these established power structures. Wouldn't it be amazing to have a network of experienced women who have been there, done that, to guide you?
It would be invaluable. It's about creating that sense of community, a support system.
Where they can share experiences, learn from each other's successes and failures, and build their confidence.
Imagine a nationwide mentorship program connecting those experienced leaders with the newcomers.
A powerful network of support, knowledge sharing, and solidarity.
And finally, the report really pushes for widespread awareness campaigns.
Right, to combat those deeply ingrained patriarchal norms, those gender biases we talked about.
Not just posters and slogans. This has to be about a fundamental shift in how we think at all levels of governance and society.
We have to stop thinking that women's leadership is somehow different or special. It's about making it the norm, recognizing their contributions and valuing what they bring to the table.
Exactly.
Imagine school curriculums that highlight women leaders throughout history.
Yes.
Media campaigns showing successful women in Panchayati Raj community dialogues that challenge traditional gender roles.
It's about creating a culture where girls grow up seeing leadership as a possibility for them, not just for boys.
It's a long-term investment for sure.
Yeah.
But imagine the payoff, a more just and prosperous society where women are driving change.
Absolutely, a society where their leadership is celebrated and embraced.
So we've explored the challenges, we've looked at the recommendations. What does all this mean for you, our dedicated UPSC aspirants?
Well, this deep dive has given you crucial insights into the reality of women in Panchayati Raj, a topic that's almost guaranteed to pop up on your exam, whether it's prelims or mains.
It's not just about memorizing facts, though, is it?
No, it's about grasping the complexity, the nuances, the potential solutions. It's a deeper understanding.
You've got the information, you've heard the expert analysis, and now it's time to make those connections. How does this issue tie in with other key topics on your syllabus? Think about rural development, gender equality, social justice, decentralization of power.
The UPSC examiners, they love to see those connections, those aha moments, where you demonstrate you really understand how these issues are all linked together.
And don't stop at understanding the problems. Dive into those recommendations. Are they realistic? What obstacles might they face? Can you think of any other solutions?
This is where you showcase those critical thinking skills, your ability to go beyond the surface and really dig into the how and the why.
Remember, the UPSC exam isn't about just repeating information. It's about showing you can analyze, you can form your own well-supported opinions.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on extending those reservation tenures? Do stricter penalties really solve the Pradhan Pati problem? Build your arguments, back them up, and be ready to defend your position.
And don't forget, this deep dive is just the starting point.
Yeah.
Go further explore the Indian Express article we mentioned. Look at other sources, academic journals, government reports.
Get those different perspectives.
Talk to other aspirants, challenge each other's views, and sharpen your own understanding.
We want to hear from you. Leave your comments, questions, your insights below. Keep the conversation going, learn from each other, and let's tackle these complex issues together.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more UPSC-focused deep dives.
And as you continue on your UPSC journey, here's something to consider. What role can individuals play in challenging those patriarchal norms and creating a culture that supports and empowers women leaders at the grassroots level? What can you do beyond policy and institutions?
It's a good question, right? Because change really starts with each of us.
It does.
Until next time, happy studying and best of luck with your UPSC preparations.